Hi everyone, welcome to this channel. If you're new, I want to say thank you for tuning in. This is your favorite high cheekbone sister. So I am on this channel. I talk business, development in Africa, especially Liberia, and travel. A lot of the travel content is coming up, so just stay tuned. All right. So what do I want to talk about today? I want to start off by saying that this is meant to be not political, but a reality. Okay, most people that I speak to, they believe that everything should be government initiative. Okay, so from drainage systems to the painting of their own buildings, government should come and do that. I believe otherwise, right? But I do still see the need for some obligations to be met. So like I said in previous video, if there's a major public work where there's more for traffic, for example, the roads that needs to go from this 100 plus miles to the next, of course we already know whose obligation that is. But when you go to your home and a community, those things, I believe we can take the initiative to do that. Because I mean, are you not going to drive your car because the government didn't go to your house to fix the road there? Or are you not going to are you going to drive in water because it's flooding now and the government have not reached a location? So these are some of the competing questions that you need to ask yourself. So that's why it was very important for us to do this system in our Burrillville community and all the community that I'm putting together, and those that I've already started its development. So what is the process of starting a community? Okay, to be honest with you though, it's not an easy thing. So people have asked me recently, Emma, why did you start doing this whole community initiative? Well, I started it because one, I don't like to drive to my house where there's no road. That's a fair assessment. And the other thing is that I believe that collectively we can do better with the structure we want to see, the zoning aspects we want to take care of. Some of these things that we like to see, we can do this if we move collectively. And these are the primary reasons why I decided to do community engagements. So how do I start? So if you're interested in even community development or businesses that will come together as group, there are a couple of things that I would like you guys to take into consideration, especially when it comes to the community aspect. So if you want to start your own community and develop, or if you want to start your own shopping centers, or you want to start your own restaurant chains, all these things, you must have a plan. That's the first thing I would encourage. Have a plan and a proposal. I'm going to speak specifically to this community development that I've taken the initiative of, and then from that you can follow with whichever project you would like to target. So the first thing is to have a proposal and a plan. What that does is going to guide you in your decision making, and if it's not working at the time, you're going to go back and modify, and it allows a baseline to be established. So a proposal and a plan. The next thing to do is to now do your due diligence check when it comes to the property you want to build on. Okay, so I'm talking about land. I know a lot of you have reported issues with land. This thing is rampant across our continent. So you want to ensure that you're doing due diligence and finding out who owns what, the property that you want to acquire. Doing this, you can go to the community elders, you can go over the community to ask about a specific piece of property, and then you can go to the archive and other things. But honestly, you need to start with the community at first. So you establish this contact for property. That would be the second thing that you do. The third thing that you have to do is to come into an agreement with this individual. So let's say you sourced out 20 acres of land. Okay, you need to explain to this individual or individuals your proposal, what you want to accomplish with this property you're buying, so that Should you pay for something and then they come back and say, oh, this person wants to do X, Y, and Z here, and they just create problems? So you want to explain to your soon-to-be landlord what it is that you want to do, and then you guys will have to sign a contract. The reason for a contract is, one, for you to take to your lawyer, for you to ensure that things are legitimized, so that when you start to make some actions, such as like even doing checkpoints or other things, then it's not, oh, I'm not aware. Okay, so you want to do that. The next thing you want to do is to consult with your lawyers. The reason I didn't say lawyer at first is because automatically you should already have somebody who you're going to consult with. Okay, so you want to discuss all of these steps with the lawyer that you will get, and as you guys finalize, the lawyer is in the know as well. So the third thing you have to do is to ensure you come to an agreement with this individual or individuals that are giving you this piece of property. And some of your clauses would be based on what you've discussed with your attorney. I will hope you have a lawyer doing this stuff, okay? And to consult with you to ensure that you're doing the right thing, because when it comes to development, it's not an easy task. So after you discuss this with a lawyer, everything is in agreement, then you start to mobilize your team. You know, the best way to put a team together is finding out what the person did previously. So if you go in a specific community and want to find somebody within that community, now you start to do your own recruiting. You're going to do, okay, who would you guys recommend in this community based on X, Y, and Z? And if the recommendation is already made, then your thing is to do due diligence by even doing more background check on this person. So in each community that I've developed, I've actually trained one person who recommended another individual to me, and then I did my own due diligence and then I assigned them, and things really has been going well across. That's pretty much what I do. But you need to establish a team. The most important thing out of all this as well is to treat the person you work with a lot of respect, sincerity. Ensure that you're paying them well. It's very important. You are paying them to get this done, because, you know, as you guys know, Liberia can be a very difficult place at times. The other aspect to note when you're doing all of this, after you put your great team together, is to find like-minded. Listen to me very carefully. I said like-minded. I didn't say go find individuals like-minded, because what this does is, if you have people who think the same as you, or even similar to how you think, you go further than people who will come halfway, stop, and then go about their business, or perhaps even discourage you from the very beginning. Find people who wants to do the same thing as you. It's not difficult. And from these projects that I've done and the ones that we continue to do now, I see why it's so important to find those that are on the same page as you in terms of this vision, okay? After you found the people that you need, then that's when the big purchasing of the land as individuals come in. Because unless you have millions of dollars to go and buy all this land, and say you want to develop it, or you don't have other things to do. For me, I have other things to do, so I'm not going to allocate that to $30,000 to go buy land. I'm not going to do that. But secondly, I'm not my individual developer. I'm not trying to buy land, build houses, and sell it. No, I'm trying to include like-minded in the process. So that's why it's important. So if everyone already purchased that piece of land, now you want to move on to the things that you outlined in your plan. Okay, remember the first thing was plan, those that you outlined. So it could be clearing of the property. We're going to do this first. We're going to do the alleyways mapping, the road mapping. Once we do the mapping, we're going to form the HOAs. Like, these things needs to be in order, okay? From then you can start to see progress. But if you don't do the first stage of all of what I've stated, you're not going to be successful. But just also remember, there will be barriers to progress. Anything that is successful, you will have to see baseline. We were here, and then we encountered issues, and we were able to rectify those issues and move on to the next. So when you hit that roadblock, don't quit. You just have to move on and continue. Okay, so these are some of my processes, and if you're looking to take on such initiative in Liberia or in Africa as a whole, these are the things that you must follow in order to be successful. I look forward to sharing with you guys the update on our community, the first, the second, and now the third that is in infancy. All right, take care, talk to you soon, and see you on this channel. Bye bye.